Well, hello, everyone. And David, thank you and Synergy Traders for having me on as one of your speakers. I appreciate that. Today, I'm going to be talking about trading strategies using the MT4Professional platform. It's one of the premier Forex trading platforms. We're going to be talking about using strategies of trading on the platform itself and how you can use them to help you find and stop missing opportunities as they come by. We'll make sure everyone knows that we're here for educational purposes only, that anything I say as MT4Professional or resilient traders is not investment advice. We are not registered investment advisors or brokers. We cannot give you specific trade recommendations, but what we can do is teach and train you how to use our platform on the live edge of the market, how to build a trading plan that is consistently profitable and successful, and how to learn how to use the platform so that you're not going to be missing out on any trade on your side. Trading with Forex, futures, stocks, options, cryptocurrencies has a large potential for reward, but also carries a large potential for risk. You need to be aware of the risks involved and be willing to accept them in order to trade or invest in any of these markets. So please don't trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so make sure you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets. Never, ever, ever trade in a live account until you have first proven that you can consistently and profitably trade your strategy in a simulated account. Only then can you start to wrestle the mind game. And that's where it all begins. And that's where the real fruit of success lies, is in the mental game. The mental game within trading is important. And so you need to exercise your strategy in an environment that doesn't stress your mind. And then when you get to real money, yep, your mind starts playing games on you, and you need to have the motor memory skills and muscle memory already in place for your strategy, so you're not going to be self-sabotaging yourself. My name is Randy Lindsey. I'm the trade coach and operations director at MT4Professional. Joining me is Claudio Cardinale. He is our product development director and all things technology guru. He carries that title and mantra with him all the time. So I always rely upon him to make sure that things are running smoothly. Today, I'm going to talk about trading strategies using the MT4Professional platform. Pardon me, I still have a nagging cough, so every now and then I'll mute myself so that I don't cough in your ear. I'll do that as best that I can. We're going to talk about these trading strategies, the most popular ones. I'm going to talk about what a market scanner is, why you should be interested in it, and what is MT4Professional anyway. I'll give you a live demonstration of the full featured platform, and I'll make a very special offer for all those who are on the Synergy Traders event today. If there are any questions, I'll be more than glad to give you answers during the presentation along the way. So please ask your questions as we go through, and then I'll get to them as soon as I can. So let's go right into these strategies. Some of the most popular strategies on MT4 that I've seen, and I'm working with traders on a daily basis, are the EMA and price. That's pure price action relative to a simple exponential moving average. Not simple moving, but a plain exponential moving average. It could be one or two, maybe, EMAs, but pure price action traders are usually ones that are out there in the trenches taking trades based upon price changes. Next are the MACD and signal traders, ones who are using stochastics or MACDs to determine convergence divergence indications within the market. So when you see positive or negative divergence or convergence in the market, you usually have trade opportunities that present themselves, and the signal usually alerts you to that fact. There are moving average traders, people who are using 2 or 3 moving averages on a chart to help determine not only trend direction, but trade entry and trade management for exits as well. So those who are trading longer term timeframes usually do quite well using moving average signals. Then there are those who are combination traders, those who trust the EMA and price for pure price action. Those who are looking at MACD and signal. They couple in and throw in a relative strength indicator to determine the peak overbought or oversold conditions to get out of the trade. So, and then of course there's the ever popular alligator strategy for those who are much longer term traders who are getting in and getting out on either half day, daily, or weekly charts. Well, the MT4 Professional Scanner can scan in real time all of these strategies, plus many more, and will alert you when these conditions are met. But before we go into what that is, let's start talking about what a scanner is and what MT4 Professional is all about. Think about all of the symbols that are available to you on MT4. That's 50 Forex pairs, 20 CFDs, 9 different time frames. That's more than 630 different combinations that you have to be checking all the time in order to find a trade. But do you really think that you can manually do this? That you can go out there and find opportunities? You probably get 3, 4, 5 ones that you're currently watching on your screens on. Maybe if you have 8 monitors and you have 8 on there, but you can only look at really one monitor at a time. So you're probably missing a lot of opportunities. Well, today, trading on different instruments is a must in order to make your trading profitable. And that's because trading uncorrelated instruments is a way to remove uncertainty and to diversify your portfolio. So if you're always looking at specific instruments, then you're going to be missing a lot of opportunity and you're not going to be very well diversified. So a perfect solution for this is a market scanner. A market scanner is something that automatically scans the market for your trade setups. It allows you to scan any symbol on any time frame based upon your own set of custom rules, your own standards, your own strategies, and your own indicators. So while it's not a signal provider, it is a tool that allows you to analyze all of your strategies using the indicators you want on the time frames that you're interested in. So here's a simple example. I have a list. Sorry about that. I have a list of symbols right here in a spreadsheet format. So for every row, you can see I have color codes, and each color code represents a specific time frame. So if I had a tool that could somehow show me at a glance this type of setup, I can very quickly rifle through all of these symbols to determine trade setups. Here's a nice long bullish setup. Here is a nice long bearish setup. These are transitions. These are ones that are longer term bullish, but they're getting ready either to become bearish or they're in correction and getting ready to return back to the longer term trend. So I've got a lot of potential here, and all I have to do is click on any of these to look at them. So that's the example. So if I were trading a cross of 2 moving averages, say a bullish moving average is the 15 period simple moving average crosses over the 30 period moving average. Well, that would be a bullish cross. I want to make any of my cells green if that occurs. A bearish cross then would be if the 15 moves under the 30. That would be a bearish cross, and I want to color any of these cells red if that occurs for any time frame, for any symbol. So this spreadsheet then would give me some actionable information if this were the case. And that's the idea behind that. Another example, so if your market scanner works for you in this way, then you don't really have to focus on trying to find the setups. You can focus on the things that you really need to focus on, like managing the trade or getting your mindset where it belongs. You know, once it's set up, a market scanner should search for the conditions of the trade, identify the bullishness or bearishness of the trade, and then give you actionable trade alerts. That's the idea behind it. So here's another example. This is using pure price action. We're using a price against a exponential moving average. I want to see when the price is above the EMA and the red when the price is below the EMA. So anytime the price is above the exponential, it goes green. Anytime it's below, it goes red. So I can see very quickly whether the euro US dollar is bullish or bearish. Here it's starting to go back bullish long term in agreement with the 15. All I need to wait for is the 5 minute to go, and I've got a green slate. It's like the dollar Canadian here, where you've got a bullish, bullish, bullish signal. I know that I'm going to be going long there. Or the S&P or NASDAQ CFDs, where you've got the bearishness just all over the place. So the idea behind that is to help you to identify these changes based upon this strategy and then have actionable opportunity on it. So I keep talking about multiple time frames. So what is it that you want me to do? Did you know that trading with multiple time frames gives you a higher probability of a profitable trade? What's due to correlation? And it's just one of the advantages of using multiple time frame technical analysis. Consider the charts over here on the right. Here I've got a 4-hour, a 1-hour, and a 15-minute. Look how noisy this 15-minute chart is. I'm not saying that you can't trade on a 15-minute, but I am saying that if you're trading in harmony with the longer time frame trend, you have a higher probability of entering and getting to profit on the shorter time frames than if you're trading against the longer term trend. So the idea of trading is that you want to have the highest probability and lowest risk trade that's there. Because as a trader, is your job out there to make money? No. I mean, that's what you really want, but that's not what you should be focused on. You should be focused on trading probabilities and managing risk. Those are the two key components that any successful trader will tell you they have. If they're just out there trying to make money, then they're probably gambling. If you're out there just trying to make money, you're probably gambling, and you probably don't have a set of rules that deliver consistent profitability. So get on the side of the high probability trades. Make sure you're entering at the lowest possible risk. Trading in harmony with the longer time frame is one way to give you that. So if you had a scanner that could search for these types of setups based on your own rules and then verify those outputs with multiple time frame technical analysis, it would be an extremely valuable tool. So looking at multiple time frames on a chart, here is a chart setup, looking at a list of potential candidates and the scans that we're looking at. I'm looking for price to close greater than this exponential moving average to give me a bullish input. Now this is the Euro US dollar on a 4-hour chart. So I can see that I have a bullish and bullish trend. Now my weekly chart is still bearish on the trend, but I'm looking for this to transition. So this is trading in direction with that. And I see that on my first chart, I have a bullish entry. Here is a MACD cross, which gives me a bullish entry. And I have a rising relative strength slope, which is a bullish indication. That's my daily. I need to validate that with the second time frame, which is a bullish signal on the MACD and a strong relative strength trend. And the third condition is a rising and strong relative strength trend that's greater than 30. With these three conditions in play, I can take this as an initial entry. And you can see off this trade, this is well over 300 pips of profit that on this setup. And I was alerted to the fact from the scanner as it gave me the cross setup and the alert based upon all three of these conditions. I'll show you that here in just a little bit, how this occurs. But in the meantime, when you're talking about multiple time frame technical analysis, with the longer time frame trend, you will get a lower risk trade opportunity and higher probability trade result. It's a powerful combination for any trader, showing the importance of using multiple time frames. So a market scanner that uses multiple time frames is an extremely valuable tool because it does this for you automatically. The only problem we ran into when we went out looking for scanners in the MT4, MT5 world was that we couldn't find any. We did find a few that had the following issues, either too complex to configure, which meant you had to be a programmer to use it. It was unstable, or maybe even a single tool that didn't integrate with the whole system. It was incompatible with a lot of indicators that we wanted to use or that most people would use on a daily basis. And there were lots of other issues that we ran into. So Our solution, make one ourselves. So Claudio sat down and put together the MT4Professional platform that integrated with MT4, and it very quickly became the #1 scanner on MT4. Then we launched and expanded it to MT5. Now it's the #1 scanner on MT5. Together, they provide you a tool that can instantly scan the entire market for setups that match your own unique criteria and rules, following your strategies. When you find one, it also enhances the trade by giving you the ability to do multiple time frame technical analysis, which really isn't easy to do on MT4 or MT5. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go through and show you more on that, but I'm gonna go give a live demonstration right now. If again, as I said, if there are any questions along the way, then I'll be more than glad to get them set up here. Pull my platform up. Okay, can you see that? Good. All right, so this is an MT4 platform. I'm using standard MT4 here. I'm showing you how the charts look, how the interaction is. Notice when I expand my window that I have a bunch of gray space here. The windows don't automatically change to fill in the available space that I have. That's one issue that I don't like about it, but it's still a good issue. If I have to change symbols on the charts, then I have to physically drag and drop the symbol onto each one of my time frame charts in order to see the potential trade. And if I wanted to do any type of multiple time frame analysis, then I have to physically go over to the setup here to see this particular bar that was at, and I have to kind of scroll down at 622 at 1545. I have to go over here onto this chart, guess where it might be, 1530. Okay, that's it right there. And then I have to go over to this chart and kind of do the exact same thing. So that's not real easy. And then at this point, I've got to determine whether it's the same time and price level that we're looking at. And so looking at that price level, is that the same level that I got on all three of my charts for a potential entry? That's what I'm looking for. You can't really do that on the platform. If you make any changes to your template or any changes to the chart whatsoever, MT4 is so nice, it saves it for you. But then you forgot what you started with and how to get back to the original setup. While it's kind of a nice feature, it's kind of a pain also because it really doesn't help you to save your template or to save the setup without having to reapply it. Now I'm going to go to MT4Professional. MT4Professional is an add-on to the platform to show you a platform that is made specifically for professional traders. First thing you'll see is a scanner window, and then you'll see the chart layout. The configurations are setups that tell MT4 how to set up your scanner, your symbol list, and your charts. So I'm going to start with pure price action strategy, and I'm going to load it up. So you can see that on all three charts, I have an EMA and a price bar showing the interaction of price and volume. And over on the right, you can see a 5-minute chart. Here is a 15-minute chart with the same setup. Notice on all three charts that there is a vertical and horizontal line that is synchronized between all three time frames. And as I move the mouse around, you can see it updating live in real time all of those time frames. So you can see that I can match up and see bullish or bearish setups at any point on all three charts. So at this point, for example, I have a close above. Here is a downwards trend. So this is what I'd be looking for right here. This close right here is the close I'm looking for a potential entry. What does it look like over here? It's already strong. It's already ready to go long. It's already in an uptrend on this time frame. This is a great entry point. So looking at this setup from this point here, then you can see that there is a already 5 pip advantage on this trade coming into it. and it's continuing to move forward. So the idea behind that is to see the bullish, bullish, bullish setup based upon the current settings and try to capitalize on that. Looking at the configuration, before I do that, let me show you some other things. I'm going to expand my screen. Notice the gray area that was in the bottom will automatically filled in by the charts. The charts automatically went ahead and filled to the space that was provided because it's MT4Professional. Also, if I wanted to change any of the symbols, say I wanted to go and look at the S&P 500, one click on the symbol automatically changes the symbol on all of the charts to give me an instant setup of the charts that I'm looking for. The idea behind that is simple. You don't want to be hindered by the technical stuff going behind the scene. You want to just focus on your trading. You want to focus on the results, and that's behind that. So now let's look at the scanner and find out, okay, what is it doing in the background to cause these color cells to change? And how is it related to price and the exponential moving average? Under select configuration, then if I were to choose this strategy, then I click the edit button. If I look on the right, you can see a chart layout. That's the setup for how you want your charts to look. Really quickly, it's comprised of just any chart layout that you like. So if you wanted to add or create 1, 2, 3, or 4 charts, you can simply do that. Click them, tile them, set them all up, make the time frames correct, and so forth. And so change them to make them look just exactly the way that you want to do. 1, 5, 15, make this one a 30-minute. Make sure that I put the template on that I want. The template is important because it gives the look of the template that's there. If you click the plus sign, you can use any template that you have on MT4 or MT5 to access or to change the setups on there. So it's very simple and easy to use. If you have a setup or a chart that you don't like, you just click the X button to get rid of it. You can retile the charts, you can move them around or change them any way that you like. I'm going to click the cancel button because I don't want to change things. But normally you would click OK, and then anytime you make a change, always click the save button to save your configuration. All of your configurations are backed up in the cloud, so you never have to worry about losing any of your data or any of your configurations because it saves it automatically. So you can even lose your hard drive, lose your computer, but you won't lose any of these configurations. They'll be ready to go once you get your platform back up and running again. Now, the setup of the charts. So over on the left is the setup for the scanner and the symbol. Most of these are Forex pairs, but you can see there are a lot of CFDs, there are a lot of stock potentials, there are a lot of futures elements. So whatever your broker provides you gives you access to trade these on that list there. Over on the right, you can see the scanner setup. So I'm going to set up the scanner and show you the rules that I use for this particular strategy. Now, the color rules are the actual logic I use to make the color cell a specific color. If you pull this down, you'll see that there's an edit button and a toggle button to turn it on or off. With only one strategy, you only have one thing to look at. So with pure price action, all you're doing is you're looking to see when price is greater than the 15-period exponential moving average. So when the close of current price is greater than or equal to the 15-period exponential moving average, I say that is a bullish condition and I want the color of the cell to be this color right here. Well, now I can make that any color that I want. If I think bullish happens to be white, then I can make it white. It's your preference. If you like blue, if you're colorblind, you don't like these colors, you can use any color that you want. So this is the first condition that's evaluated. If this is true, it's going to change the color to blue or green or white or any other color you choose. Or, so if that's not true, then it's going to evaluate this condition set. Then is the close of price less than the 15-period exponential? If that's the case, it will color the cell red. If neither of these are true, it will color the cell the default color. Well, the way I've done the operators, there's no way it could be any other color. It's always going to be greater than or equal to or less than one or the other. So this is going to be not important. But if you had a case that did have some gray area, like an area of consolidation, or a place where you don't want to take a trade when the RSI is less than a certain value, then the default color would be used in those conditions. If you need or want to use an additional indicator, or if you have another rule that you want to add, like closer price has to be greater than a moving average, and you want to use another moving average for a longer term trend. So, excuse me. Say, for example, you want to add a moving average. So let's go ahead and check to see if the moving average 15 is also greater than a new moving average. So let's add that. Select from any indicators that are available to you in the categories. So the moving average would be listed there. And in this case, instead of it being a 15 period, I want it to be a 50 period. Simple, not exponential, but a simple moving average. I could pick any one that I want, but based upon the close of price. So that 15 has to be greater than the 50. That would give me a much stronger bullish setup. Likewise, if I see that that 15 is less than that 50, then I have a much stronger case for a bearish condition. Now, since I use greater than or less than, if it was exactly equal to, then neither of these would be true, and my cell color would be yellow. Follow? See how easy that is to add? Simple menu-driven rules. The plus sign allows you to add any indicator or any condition that you have available to you, even custom indicators that you've purchased third-party that you want to be able to use in the system. I want to hit the cancel button because I don't want to save any changes I've made, or I can just simply cancel out and get rid of the conditions that I had previously entered. See, it's very, very easy to use and maintain. Make sure you give it a name that you can remember. I just call it a main color rule because what the name is not important, just help you to understand. And if you give it a name that represents what it is, then it might help you later on down the road. Okay. Once you're done with that, you can see that this main color rule is applied to the 1 minute. It's applied to the 5 minute. You can also see that it's applied to my 15 minutes. So any other time frame I add, say that I want to add a 30 minute, then check the time frame, color rule. What color rule should I use? Oh, there's only one to use, so let's turn it on. There. Now I have the 30 minute assigned to this exact same color rule to determine direction, trend, or strength. If I decide later on I don't want that, then I can just quickly get rid of it and I'm on my way. Once you have this set up and you like the results, then to be notified, just simply tick this box for real-time notifications be turned on. If you want SMS messages sent to you on your phone, then all you have to do is verify your phone number here and you'll receive a message from the system notifying you these conditions are met and you have a potential trade opportunity ready to go. All right, once you click the save button, close the window and load the newly updated configuration so that it displays on your charts. Okay. One other thing I want to show you is that when you click the edit button on any configuration, you'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner that there is a share icon. This share icon allows you to share, basically a copy of this configuration with any other MT4Professional user on the platform. So if you are trading with a group of traders who everybody is using specific tools, you can share your configuration that you've spent time developing with all of the other traders you trade with so that everybody can be on the same page at the same time. They don't have to worry about setting them up, or if they set up a trade strategy that's been working really good for them and they want to share it with you, then that's all they have to do is share it on the platform, and everybody can have access to that if they share it with you. Show you that. That's called our Traders Network. Let me pull up one that's here's a MACD and signal. This is one that's using the strategy where the MACD, which is the histogram, interacts with the signal line from that indicator. Now you can see I have a couple of moving averages. I also have a momentum indicator that's on here as well. But we're focused specifically on the MACD to determine trade setups. So anytime the histogram is greater than the signal line, that is a bullish setup. And I want to see when that occurs. So if that occurs at this point right here, okay, that's where I want to start looking at a potential trade. Potential trade. That's all I want to see. If this, all I want to see is green. If that comes up green, then I know I'm ready to take the trade. That's all. Then if I look at the longer time frame to see if that is also the case, then I have a potentially strong point to enter. If I verify that with my third time frame and I can see, maybe volume is on my side, or the setup is getting ready to, notice that it didn't go long until right about there. Well, while that is true, you might not want to wait that long, an hour if you're trading a 15-minute chart, because you just want to see this as a verification tool to see if price is closing either greater than your moving average, or if you have positive momentum. See, so those are conditions to look at. I didn't mention 480 variables. I just mentioned a few, but it's a menu-driven system with all the push buttons and things which are all very easy to follow. And we give you very easy onboarding steps as well. So if you do get started or interested, then we can hold your hand and get you to the point to where you can get along quite well. So we work with everyone. We try to help you to get to the point where you're very comfortable with that. Well, so let's look at this configuration. What are the rules that I need to do to set this up? If I'm looking at the euro US dollar right now, you can see it's in a bearish setup on the 15-minute, but it's still currently bullish on the 30, and it is also still currently bullish on the hourly. So is this just a consolidation period that's getting ready to continue, or is it a start of a potential reversal? That's what I want to see. That first time frame triggered that. I'm in line with the longer term trend. Do I wait for this to go, or does the 30-minute start going red, showing me that this is probably winding into a potential reversal? So that's the idea behind it. So let's look at the configuration. Let's edit that. You can see that I have the chart set up where I have 4 different chart setups, 4 different time frames, and I have a template I selected that's called the MACD, showing the display. Let's look over at the color rules. These are the rules that you use to set it up. Now I called it a trade signal. Let's edit this and see what the rules are. The rules are what I already showed you. If the MACD histogram, which is the baseline indicator, is less than the MACD signal line, that's the red line I showed you here. So if this histogram is less than the signal line, that's bearish, and I want the cell to be colored red. Or if that same MACD histogram, that's the white line, is greater than the MACD signal line. That's the red line. In this case, it is. I want that cell to be colored green because it's bullish. I don't want to know the details behind it. I just want to see what's bullish and what's bearish. And then I have a go, no-go information. That's what I want to see. And if I apply this strategy to whatever time frame I put it on, I want to see if I'm trading in harmony with the longer time frame or not. And that's the idea behind that. Now I could make this a little bit stronger by incorporating a momentum indicator or a cross of a moving average. All of those things can be put into play and integrated within the same configuration. And speaking of that, I have one that I think I call, my MACD, where I have done just that. This is a case where I'm looking at the EMA and price, I'm looking at the MACD and signal, and I'm looking at a relative strength. If you look at the configuration, you'd think that that would be very complicated. But in fact, it's actually quite simple. I call it a strong signal color rule, and I have comprised two separate strategies. One, I'm looking at the actual signal to get me in or out of the trade. The second one, I'm looking at the overall trend. Now, this is the week based on the weekly chart, and I want to trade in the direction of the weekly trend. So if I'm taking a trade, I want to see what color of the trend is, and I'm only going to take signals that align with that trend direction. So notice on my 4-hour chart, I don't have the weekly trend strategy turned on, only the strong signal. On my daily chart, I only have the strong signal turned on. But if I were to go to my weekly chart, then you can see I only have the weekly trend signal turned on. I don't care about getting a signal off the weekly chart. I just want to see what the direction of the trend is because I want to trade in that direction. Okay, so let's edit that signal to see what the rules are. Well, here you can see I've got 3 specific conditions that have to be evaluated in order for the cell to be colored red. First, sorry about that. First, I need to see if a MACD crosses. So if the histogram is less than the signal line, and if price is less than a 15-period exponential moving average, and is my relative strength falling, which means I'm looking at the relative strength 2 bars ago, and I'm comparing that to the current relative strength. So if you look at the chart and you can see that the relative strength 2 bars ago is greater than the current relative strength, that means that the slope is moving down and you have a downward moving slope. Okay, so you want to see that in a bearish trend where the previous relative strength is greater than the current relative strength. If you're in a bullish trend, you want to see that the current relative strength is greater than the previous relative strength. And that's what you're seeing here. The value 2 is the 2 bars ago price, and the current one is based upon the current price. You simply do that by editing the indicator and shifting the location of the output by this amount. So I'm looking 2 bars ago, I'm putting in a value of 2. The inputs are just the standard 14 period on close of price, but I'm looking back 2 bars. And if you were to look at the current relative strength, you can see that the you can see that the indicator shift is 1, which is the current price. Now I can set the shift to be 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars back. That's whatever I want to do. I have access to be able to do that. So all conditions have to be met, and that would be a bearish setup. And this is not programming. This is just simple. I know how to use indicators. I can set them up one time, turn it on, and it does all the work for me. and alerts me to when this occurs. The bullish condition is just the opposite. I'm looking for the opposite indicators that you see over here for a bullish setup. And if neither of these are true, then I want the output to be yellow, telling me that there's no trade opportunities here. I want to see only when it's red or green. Now the weekly signal simply looks at the weekly chart right here, and it's looking at the close of price relative to the 15-period moving average. So is it in a bullish trend or is it in a bearish trend based upon current price action? And you can see that if price sometimes goes above, then you'll get a very short-lived and temporary bullish trend. But most of the time it closes below and stays below that trend, giving you a much more stable and valid trend direction. Coupled with the current setups, you can see in one glance all of your symbols, all of your time frames, the trends either bullish or bearish, and which ones are currently in uptrends, which ones are downtrends, or which ones are ready to trade or not. Very simple, easy to use, and straightforward. Now I wanted to show you something, another feature that's available to you. If you were to get the scanner for yourself, then here I'm dragging over my my Chrome desktop. This is representative of a mobile device. So I could pull up a browser on any of my mobile devices, be it my iPad or my phone, laptop, and log into the MT4Professional members area. Then you get access not only to the full featured software for either MT4 or MT5, your choice, but the full 6-step onboarding process where we walk you through, hold your hand, make sure you get through there. And it includes, a free one-to-one interaction with me on getting the system set up, installed, and working properly on your computer. And if we even have time during that first session, we can even set up some strategies if you want to. You have full access to our help and documentation center, where you can go in and see all of the quick start videos, how to install or uninstall, how to use it with the Mac, how to set up the configurators for configurations, and we walk through each of the preset configurations that we provide for you. There are 14 different pre-configured scenarios set up for you, and we show you how the scanner rules, how the workspace charts are set up, and the general configuration of the system itself. And of course, if you have questions on your subscription, on your licensing, how to unsubscribe or to cancel, or any other questions you might like, then you have that full access and control all of that in the members area. One thing I want to show you here is that if you're trading and you are home and you want to go out for lunch, or your friends call you up and say, hey, come on down to the coffee shop, we want to talk to you about something. Well, you don't have to stay glued to your monitor, risking a possible trade miss. So take MT4Professional with you. So bring your scanner, your mobile device, hop in the car, pull up the real-time scanner on your mobile device from the members area. So just simply click the device that you have loaded, and instantly you will see the scanner that's on your PC running at your office listed on your mobile device right here. You'll get to see not only any of the trade setups or the potential opportunities, but you'll get alerted whenever any of these potential setups change or give you a new update. The other nice feature is that if you see one that you particularly like this dollar-yen pair, for example, you can click on that dollar-yen on your mobile device. Notice that it changed all the symbols on my platform, took a snapshot, and sent it to me on my mobile device. So I can see in real time the current setup of that bullish trend on the dollar yen. And so I can see that it's continuing, or that it might be topping, or maybe it's even starting to give me some sort of a potential reversal signal. Those are all the things I want to see and I have full access to, because I'm not at my office, but I have MT4Professional with me wherever I go. And that's really nice. Now, all of these snapshots can be saved. We have a snapshot library here in the members area that allows you to save all of your scans and snapshots with all of the supporting information on them. And if you make them public or private, if you make them public, like this one, then you have full access to the share icon and the link, so that you can share them on any of the social interest pages you're interested in. Or if you just want to put it in the chat room that you're in, you can have access to that as well by using the platform. And you can tag each of your images and keep track of all of them on the members area. And you can manage all of your licenses. You can even use this as a referral base. If you refer people our way, we'll pay you for that. So all of your alerts will come up under the notifications section. So this will show you when you have a trade alert. It'll give you a snapshot, a link to the image, and a link to the real-time scanner that was used. And any software updates that we have, or any announcements from us, will appear in this notifications panel as well, to let you know when we've released new software updates. So all of that is there. So make sure you take advantage of that when you get started with the system. So now I want to transition over into the special offer I'd mentioned to you guys earlier. For all you guys that are out there, we give you full featured MT4 or MT5. We give you exclusive access to our Skype community, where all of the MT4 or 5 users are congregating. We give you unlimited configurations, unlimited emails, push notifications, and up to 100 SMS notifications every month. With your subscription, we give you all 14 pre-configured presets. That means these are configurations that we've already set up the strategies, we've already set up the charts and everything. All you have to do is open them and start using them. Total value is about $22.95. You're not going to pay $22.95. We've set it up as a monthly charge of $194 per month as the regular discounted price. But for special events like this today, we're giving you $97, which is 50% off the standard fee. Now, I've just been notified that there is a coupon code that you can use, June 22, all caps, June 22, to get an additional 20% off of the $97 price. Now, this just came through, so apparently Claudio is hard at work in the background, making sure that he's making this offer really good for you guys. So not only are you going at 97, it's going to be knocked down, was that $77, I believe. The link is MT4Professional.com/trial. You will get 14 days to try it out risk-free. You will not be charged a penny for the entire 14 days. You can cancel at any time and still get full use of the platform for 14 days. At the end of 14 days, if you have not canceled, then it will start to bill or charge you this. And if you have entered the coupon code June 22, it's in the chat box there, if you can see that, all caps JUNE22, then you'll be able to get the additional 20% off, or $77 a month. And this isn't just a 1 month special or a quarterly special. It's a lifetime discount that gets applied to your account, and you hold on to that until you cancel your subscription, if you ever need to, for that matter. So MT4Professional.com/trial to get started on your 14-day free trial. You get full versions of both MT4 and MT5 and full access to our Skype community to start using these things in your trading today to find out if it can work for you. If you have any questions, you can always contact us at support@MT4Professional.com, and we'll be more than glad to get back with you with those answers. What is the minimum account required? You don't need any minimum required to use our platform. It works on MT4, So you can set up a demo account and use it straight, MT5 as well. You can use them straight on those platforms. This only works on MT4 or MT5. It does not work on Thinkorswim platform. But if you have an account with TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim or any other place, you can run your analysis and your trade suggestions on MT4 platform, but execute your trades on your Thinkorswim platform. And that's perfectly fine. But the platform itself only runs on MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. Don't forget to use the June 22 coupon code to get the discount, those of you who are interested. I think I covered most of the points. Are there any specific questions on either the platform, the system, the signals that you might be getting, the ability to use multiple time frames, the messaging, the traders network, the fact that it's all backed up in the cloud so you don't lose any of these configurations? You can take it with you. You don't even have to take your computer with you. If you travel somewhere and your brother comes with you and he has his laptop, you can pull it up on your laptop, your brother's laptop, and you have everything just the way you see it, just the way you set it up at home, running on your computer there. The option, you have access to any instrument that your broker provides you. So if your broker provides you with options, then yes, you can analyze the options setups and charts as well. But as on most things, most MT4 or MT5 brokers do not provide options data. So you'll have to do the analysis on the underlying instrument and then execute your options trade on a platform that'll support that, like Thinkorswim, eSignal, TradeStation, NinjaTrader, and so forth. Other questions? You're welcome, Bobby. As we said, we are traders ourselves. We wanted a platform that would help us to see where these locations are, the locations that give us the ideal opportunities to get in when the transition changes. You want to be able to see these locations. You want to be able to get in when the timing is right. So we get ideas and indications that the trade is moving in our favor right here. But we also know that the trade's not going to go until we break the trend. And so once we see the trend break, then we know that's the direction we want to get in. And notice with the use of multiple time frames that this cursor shows us that this is simply a second leg on an already existing longer term trend. And that's what you want to see. And that's why you're so excited to say, nah, I'm not so interested in this, but I'm interested in this. And that's the idea behind long-term successful trading, is getting in front of those trades. And you want a system that's going to tell you when that is perfectly set up and aligned. Okay, David, I think that about does it for me. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Again, MT4Professional.com/trial to start your 14-day free trial. And don't forget the June 22 coupon code to get you the 20% off.